you know. Abazokunceda abantu eyobabantu bazothini, that's not gonna help you. You need to put you first, put your mental well-being first. You know, there's no shame. Go back home, figure things out, and then go back and try again. Go back home. December, I am called in to a meeting and I'm told that I'm getting retrenched because the company is in trouble, and they took me and they thought that I was actually going to turn things around for them. How do you take an intern and hope she will turn things around for you? Like that till this day does not make sense to me. But that was that. I had to think of something, and I couldn't think of anything. So at this point, I was still staying in Brackenfell, and Brackenfell was actually temporary. I was supposed to be out of there by December, right? November, I get told that, you know, I need to leave because people are going to be coming. It was close to December, so there's going to be family members coming through. Perfectly fine. I'm looking for a place, ne? But at this point, I'm looking for a place, but I'm retrenched. How am I gonna play the place? You know, it's a bit tricky. I talked to, okay, all of this is happening. My mom doesn't know because I did not want to stress them. I had made the move and I didn't really tell them what was going on because I was like, I don't want to stress them, right? Now my mom links up with somebody that they went to school with, and he actually helps me look for a place, right? So we're looking for a place, and it's a bit tricky because around the time that we're looking for a place, it's like November into December, so not really gonna find anything during that time. So he said, how about you come and stay with me while you're looking, and while you're also looking for a job, then we'll figure things out from there, right? So I stay. This is around December. This is December 2017. I stay. I'm unemployed. I am not really feeling it because I'm staying, you know, at a nice place, and I'm like, everything is nice, you know. I'm applying, but nothing is coming through. I'm applying, and now somebody sent me an ad. They were looking for volunteers at Cape Town TV, right? Fine. I'm like, okay, this is it. I've been wanting to be on TV, so let me just apply. Go there, I go, you know, for the interview, and I get it. Exciting times, but not really exciting because I'm gonna be a volunteer and I need money. Like, I didn't come all the way from the Eastern Cape to be a volunteer. I need money. I need money to send, you know, home. But game, I'm like, I am grateful for the opportunity. So it gets tough to the point where I had to go to my boss and say I cannot come to work anymore because I don't have taxi fare. And he was shocked. He was like, you're still not getting paid? Because I actually asked that you get a stipend that will cover your transport. And I was like, we're not getting it. And then we literally got money that covered transport, no extras. But at least it was something. And for me, I was like, okay, I'm getting the experience at least, you know. So I stay there. I am a video journalist at this point, and you know, we do news bulletins, you know, look for different, you know, look at newspapers, we look at, you know, different articles that came through, we verify, you know, and then that's going to, you know, be read on air. I tried being a news reader, but it wasn't really for me. And because it didn't make sense, man. The whole situation for me, it really didn't make sense, but it is what it is. I enjoyed being behind the scenes, and I then became a field reporter for like your light, you know, entertainment stories. That was my thing, covering, you know, red carpets, and also, you know, going to fashion shows. That was more my vibe. So I was that person who, you know, who brings the entertainment, you know, to the news bulletins. Fine, you do that, right? It's nice. And at this point, it was really tough. It was really tough. You know, there were times where there were days where I would go without eating literally anything, literally nothing. What am I saying? I went days without eating. At this point, I remember 2017, I was at my skinniest weight that I've ever been. And I remember people on Facebook actually asking, like, people would inbox me and ask me, what's your secret? Like, what diet are you on? I would say to people, I am on a liquid diet. Little did people know that I was not eating, that I was literally sleeping on water. I was drinking a glass of water and then I'd go to bed, right? At this point, I then thought, guys, it's actually a bit emotional. I then figured, okay, water has been sustaining me. I don't know how, but I've been surviving on water. How about I buy corn, like like, I think it's 500 grams, or is it 1 kg? I'm not sure, but I'd buy that and I'd divide that into 4. So for 4 days I would eat popcorns, right? I'd literally feel like a Tupperware with popcorns, not even with aromat or like something nice, just salt. I'd put, wow. Wow, I'd have popcorn and a glass of water for dinner. I remember because at this point, you know, I was taking a bus and sigqume isisu, and I would hold my stomach. It would start making noises, and you know, you get embarrassed, you look around and people are looking at you. And you know, we grew up being told that when that happens, people can't hear it. People can't hear it, bro. And I would find myself asking for advice, and I'd be like, it's indigestion. Like, what can I drink? And you know, people would be like, God, it's gone. People like, you know, and I'm thinking, little do people know that there's air in my stomach. Like, I haven't been eating for days, you know. And I get to work and people don't I think a lot of people are going to be shocked when they watch this because they didn't know what I was going through at this point, but God was with me through it all. At this point, the station manager decided that the news team needed, you know, somebody to make soup. I think this was around, you know, winter time, so we needed somebody, you know, to cook for us. And I remember I started making friends with, you know, the lady in the kitchen, and I would have an extra skaftin, an extra Tupperware, and to say, can you please, you know, put my food into this because I'm gonna take it home. And you know, I'd have like a small, and you know, I'd be like, you know, I'm watching my figure, you know, trying to be modest and stuff. And that time I'm starving, but I don't wanna take that, because already that is what I'm supposed to be eating, that she's gonna put in the Tupperware. So I don't want to now overeat or eat, and then other people don't, they don't get enough food. So God came through in that manner. So I knew at least I was eating it. So I would eat as much as I could, and by the time I get home, I would finish the food and then have some for breakfast, right? God blessed me once again with a friend. So we had an intern from California. When he came, people didn't really, I don't know. Me, I'm curious. I like, to connect with people from different places. So I took a liking to him. I was like, okay, he's interested about, us and our culture, and I don't mind sharing that stuff. And I was very smart about it. So I would sit next to him, right? At this point, it's when most, things are still a bit tough. So what I do, let's say that day I am craving, like Debonnaise or something like that. I would literally Google it. I would Google Debonnaise menu. All the pizzas would come up. I would literally run to the bathroom, because I know how people operate. He's definitely gonna look at my screen and be like, ugh, pizza. I mean, So I get back and, he's like, what's that? And I'm like, it's pizza. He's like, I haven't tasted pizza from South Africa. And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't have money, but when I do, I'll buy you pizza. And he's like, I'll buy it. I was like, God, come through, Father, go. And it started like that. I mean, God pulls through like that sometimes. He just brings people into your life who are going to help you, right? So that happens. And, it was tough, bro. It was really, really, really tough. And at this point, I then get another advert or something. Somebody sends me, people kept on sending me stuff. Somebody sent me something that they're looking for. I don't want to mention the company, but they were looking for people, right? Went to the interview, it went well. They told me, you in, right? So I left, now I left CTV now at this point. And okay, I feel like I'm all over the place, but please bear with me. While at CTV, right, I get told, somebody tells me there is a show that somebody once did, and they're actually looking to bring it back on air, and they need somebody who's going to produce and present the show. And I was like, what kind of show is that? And they tell me that it is a lifestyle show. There are interviews, they talk about literally everything. It's like a ladies club type of vibe, talk about the things that ladies go through. And I was like, I'm perfect for this. Like, I'm already covering those stories for our news team, and I could do that. I go to somebody, who was in charge now of hiring, and I tell them, I was like, somebody told me that you're looking for somebody, and I feel like I'm that somebody. What did he say? He said to me, do you honestly think you can do that? With an attitude. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you young, you a female. I was like, wasn't that show done by a female before me? He's like, you young, you're female, do you think you can cover that? You don't have experience. How are you going to talk about having kids but you don't have any? And I was like, no, ninja, you did not. And at this point, I was watching Anele Mdoda, her show on SABC3 at this point, and I made reference to one of her shows. I was like, Anele was not raped. was never raped, but she spoke to somebody who was. She did an interview. You do research. That's how you produce a show. You do research and you know how to tackle certain things. You look at, obviously, you have to be sensitive to different situations, because I'm not just going to be ignorant about certain topics because I did not go through them, or experience them and then tackle them a certain way, and be insensitive and stuff. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna let you have that show. And I was like, oh, okay, sharp, fine. And I remember, again, I was actually interested, being behind the scenes. The thing is about me, I get bored very easily. So I need, to be constantly challenged. And when I feel like the job that I'm currently doing is not challenging, I need to move on to the next thing. So it's like, I'm actually interested, with the behind the scenes, camera operation and all of that. Same thing. I went to someone, I was like, I'm interested, and then I was told, do you see females here operating the camera? I was like, hey, I saw me. And what? I was like, what does that have to do with anything? Me being a female. And, but yeah. I was like, okay, it is what it is. And at this point, I already went for interviews for the other job, and I was told I got it. Right. Now, it's day one. I'm at work, and we are told that we are on probation we are going to be trained for a week, and on the last day there's going to be a test, and if you fail the test you are going to be let go. And in my mind, when you go through a training, you're already part of that. It's just you being trained to do that particular job, right? It's not that if you fail, we let you go, because I've already left my other job, right? Hey, wow. I get there, right? And at this point, I could, count, the people who look like me. But then I was like, I'm used to it now. It's Cape Town. There's a group that is made, and I was actually teaching English online, in this particular company. So we get trained, and now it's time for us now to put the training into, action or into play. And we have to actually teach a class, and I'm teaching, I'm enjoying it, my students love me, right? Fine. Next thing I know, I start seeing people leaving the WhatsApp group. I don't know what's happening. Next day, I think it was 4 courses, and then the rest was colors. Fine. At one course I did not return the next day. We all confused. We didn't know that they were letting people go, that quickly. Fine. We then walk around, during the day when people were teaching, we're walking around, and I then notice, there is like quite a few people who look like me. And I asked, I was like, you see, that's another thing. My mouth gets me into trouble sometimes. But I was like, how is it that you don't have a lot of people who look like me, here? And I was told that I ask so many questions. I was like, okay, sharp. So day 2, we're doing the same thing. And next day, the same day, there's 2 of us left. Now, I'm starting to get concerned, because the people that keep on leaving have been doing amazing. Like, they have been doing a great job, and the people who have been terrible, like the accent is terrible, they cannot teach, they are nervous, the students are asking questions, they don't have answers. These people are still here. I'm like, okay, sharp. Next thing I know, I am being told on WhatsApp, don't come back next day. My question is, what did I do? They're like, don't question it, just don't come back. For me, most I like explanations. I like people to tell me what is it that I did wrong so that I can rectify it, or moving forward, if I move on to a different job, I need to know what not to do, right? I get told that we're letting you go. There was no reason. Now I am finding myself unemployed yet once again. This is 2017, right? And prior to that, when I was still in our working on TV, I remember doing a story on depression, and I remember writing, what was said down, interviewing somebody who was, going through that at that point, and asking them the signs and the symptoms, and I would write it down. Now I found myself unemployed yet once again. I am frustrated. Things are not really working out. I left my home and things are not working out, and I'm finding myself in a dark place. And I revisited my notebook. I looked at the signs and the symptoms, and I saw myself in there. And at the time, I was, dating my ex, and I told him, I was like, I'm starting to feel a certain way. And he tried to talk me out of it, and I'd like to believe that he saved me, because he'd uplift me, he'd motivate me, he'd send cute messages to keep my spirits up, and to a certain degree it actually did work. But what was ultimately going to work for me was for me to come back home, and forget about people, forget about what people were going to say, because we were talking, this was my mental well-being that was at stake. And for me to be caring about people who don't really care about me is not going to make the situation better. So it was at this point, during the time when I was frustrated, I was questioning myself. I was like, I came here, looking for greener pastures. I thought, this is the place, this is where media companies are at. It was at this point, when I was not eating for the longest time. It was at this point when I was slowly losing myself, because at this point I had lost friends when I was unemployed, yet once again. It was at this point that my faith in God actually grew. It was so crazy for me, but that's what kept me going. It was at this point, because I've always been the kind of person who knows that bad things happen to good people. I've always had that attitude, and that everything happens for a reason, and that God is trying to teach me something. I've always had that attitude towards things. When something happens to me, I don't ask, why is it happening to me? At this point, a lot was happening. I was going through the most, but I did not stop believing in God, because even then I thought, clearly there has to be a silver lining. There has to be light at the end of this tunnel because I am going through the most. I did not sign up for this, and I did not stop praying. I remember, when I was going to bed on an empty stomach and just with a glass of water, I would pray over that water. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional. I would actually pray and say, thank you, God, for this glass of water. And it was not easy. It was not easy, but I made it through, through the hardship. It was not easy, and to get to a place that is very foreign to you, and your people don't take a liking to you. People don't want you. I was caught between my people, which are closer people. They don't want me. White people don't want me. Like it was a very crazy thing to go through, because I was there because I wanted something better. I wanted to provide for my family, and you get there and you experience all of these things. It was hard, and I couldn't exactly tell my mom or my dad or anybody back at home, because everybody thinks when you go to Cape Town, you go to Joburg, it's all nice and you're living your best life and stuff. They don't know half of the things that we go through. And I am gonna wrap up this video. I want to say to you who is watching right now, who is going through the same thing, it's gonna be okay. If it's too much to bear, go home. Go home. Don't even pay mind to people. Don't even think of what people are going to say, because people are not going to do anything for you. People are not going to put food on your table, people are not going to wipe those tears, abazokunceda abantu. Abantu bazothini? That's not going to help you. You need to put you first. Put your mental well-being first. There's no shame. Go back home, figure things out, and then go back and try again. Go back home. It's when I was going through the most, I'm gonna keep referring to this, going to bed with no food. I would think, if I was sleeping in my own bed, this water and these popcorns would taste differently, because I'd be with people who love me. There's no place like home. Like, honestly, there is no place like home. Even if une fish oil, and you're gonna eat it, and you're gonna be happy, and you're gonna be full, and you're gonna appreciate it because but when you eat londoleyo when you're not happy, it's a different story. And I didn't think I was gonna cry. My God, oh Jesus, I honestly didn't think I was gonna cry. So that's what I want to say. I want to say things that I wish I had known, or I could have done. If you're in varsity, make sure that you acquire experience while you're still there, because that is some of the things that I struggled with, because you're fresh out of university and you are thrown into whatever job that it is, and you're expected to know what to do. So while you're in university, get a job. If you did media studies like me, get into TV. Bay TV is there. Get into radio, get into campus radio. By the time you get out there, you have experience, and it's not going to be difficult for you. For me, it was difficult because I was just focused on my studies, and then link up with people while you're still in university. Make sure that you make connections, baby. Connections. As I said in the beginning, that a qualification with no connection is as good as nothing. It is as good as nothing. It will get you, qualification yako will get you nowhere. It will get you nowhere. It's just to say that, okay, this person, we can actually hire this person for this certain thing. It doesn't say that you have the skill to do whatever job, but experience speaks volumes. Get experience while you're still in university. Waitress if you have to, because that's where you're gonna learn people's skills. I don't know, edit people's assignments if you can. Editing skills are going to be now add on to your skills list. I don't know. So yeah, this video is quite long. I really hope that this video is going to help someone. As I said in the beginning, that I don't want to be pitied. This video is not for me to be pitied, because I've already gone through ezizinto. And for people who were with me during those years, and who maybe saw a different side of me, who got experience or get to experience a different side of me, who didn't know yonke lento. Well, it is what it is, guys. I was going through the most. I think I hid it well. I think I hid it very well. People didn't know that I was struggling this much. But I'm so appreciative, of everything that I went through, because I am who I am today because of those struggles, and when you have the kind of faith that I have, you go through life a little differently, because instead of being swallowed by whatever struggle or dark cloud that you find yourself under, where you pray differently, where you ask God for strength in that particular season of your life, when you say, God, teach me, show me what you want me to learn in this particular situation, you navigate life a little differently, because you know that whatever it is that you're going through, it's not to break you, but to make you even stronger, right? So with that said, I really hope that your experience after university will be better than mine, and you will not struggle as much as I did. And if you decide to move to a different city, make sure that you do your research about that. Do research, go there knowing what to expect, but experience is the best teacher. Even if you Google it and you are told, okay, this particular city, crime is high and whatnot and what, until it happens to you, you're not gonna know how to avoid being robbed. Imagine. You just have to be street smart with those things. And yeah, man, with that said, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you again in my next video. Please share this video, like it, give it a thumbs up, and comment down below. Let me know how life is for you after university. And yeah, man, thank you for watching.